Okay, so I have a book. It is Judo, written by Vladimir Putin. I got this book quite a few years ago, and at the time he was just the president, or whatever you want to call it, of Russia. What year was this published? 2004, so not that old, but still kind of old. So, it's actually a pretty interesting book on judo. Not just because it's written by this guy, but, you know. It's interesting, I was reading this, and this preface here, this first part is just compliments of Putin. It's pretty unreal. You know? This last paragraph. Let me conclude by saying that it may be a new age of campaigning if President Putin makes good on his idea to do a judo demonstration at Madison Square Garden. We would fill Madison Square Garden if he offered to put his judo gear on and demonstrate his sport. This would be the real thing, politician as martial artist, the martial artist as politician. No doubt he would put some professional wrestlers and bodybuilders to shame, but then he would equally, no doubt, graciously allow himself to be thrown by a precocious American high school judoka studying Master Kano's art. So like, this one here, this first part is just pretty, you know, compliments of Putin. And then this next one, this next part, introduction by this lady, this is more, you know, I am very happy to see this wonderful book by Vladimir Putin, Vasily Shezhetskov and Alex Levitsky. It is rare and very inspiring that a head of state would make such an investment of time to write a book like this. Maybe the guy that runs North Korea will do a book on Taekwondo, you know? Anyway, this next one, you know, this is just mostly about, you know, this is compliments of Putin over here, and this is compliments of judo, you know. And this part, a look at the past, sort of explains the difference between judo and jiu-jitsu, you know. Judo owes its origins to a centuries-old tradition of one-on-one military combat that came into being and developed in various schools of jiu-jitsu in medieval Japan. So, and then there's various theories on how judo or jiu-jitsu came to be or whatever, you know. Some say it came from Japan or from China, where there's an art called Chin Na. And some say a guy had a dream and, you know, whatever. And then various, you know, stories about Jigoro Kano and how he invented judo and why he invented judo and his students and all that beeswax, you know? Yeah. One of the things about judo I find interesting is there's like a sort of a moral, you know, side of it. I guess they see that's true of all martial arts, but really judo seems like it's only one where they put pen to paper, you know? Upon embarking on a path of judo, I shall not refuse to train unless I have a serious reason for doing so. I promise not to demean the dignity of judo through my behavior. Like, that's the one, you know? I have met some judo people who I don't think they're aware of that, or certainly don't follow that one. I shall never betray the secrets of the school to the uninitiated. Only in extreme cases shall I take fighting lessons at another location. I promise not to give lessons without the permission of my sensei. Throughout my life, I promise to respect the rules of Kodokan, both as a student and teacher, if I become a teacher. So, yep. Anyway, interesting stuff. Yep. This is all about the history of judo and whatnot. If I found this part interesting, before he passed away, Kano went and saw a judo tournament, and look at notes. In his declining years, after attending a competition, Kano, very disappointed, gathered his students together and reproached them. "You fight like young bulls clashing horns. There was no refinement or elegance whatsoever in any of the techniques I saw today. I have never taught that kind of judo. If you are going to think only of winning through brute strength, that will be the end of Kodokan Judo." So yeah. Maybe not an easygoing kind of guy. I wonder what he would think of if he attended the Olympics. Perhaps he would, perhaps he would have a hissy fit. Because there's a lot of judo players who use strength. And the ones that don't, lose. Well, whatever. I guess it's strength and technique, but... yeah. The most efficient use of strength, mutual well-being. See? Mutual well-being, Vladimir Putin. Strange. Yup. Judo unites people of various nationalities. Unites people of various nationalities. Tastes and creeds. The multifaceted nature of judo allows each person to find what only he or she needs. Much has been written about judo, but it is too early to write the final word. It's the inexhaustible topic. Judo, at over 100 years old, continues to attract even more admirers. There you go. Anyway, and then this next bit from the history of Russian judo school. So, Russia, as you probably know, has this art called Sambo. And Sambo was made by a couple of dudes who sort of combined, I don't know, I guess Russia had a folk style of wrestling, kind of like Mongolian wrestling, except Russian wrestling. And then one Russian guy went over to Japan and learned some jiu-jitsu, and he brought it back, and he made a combination of the two. And Sambo looks quite a bit like judo, but, you know, it's known for its leg locks, but, you know, Sambo players are mostly, it's mostly shitty judo with some shitty leg locks compared to, like, you know, leg locks as we know them today, you know? Yeah. I mean, there's various forms of Sambo. There's the kind that looks like I just said, it looks basically like shitty judo with some shitty leg locks. And then there's the kind that Fedor Emelianenko did, combat judo, and Khabib Nurmagomedov, which is like perfect for MMA. It's basically like mixed martial arts, but wearing, you know, the judo jacket. And then there's another kind where it's like all self-defense-y, and it looks like most self-defense arts, you know, where it's not going to work, basically, because there's no sparring. Anyway, and here they are thanking all their, you know, whoever's, all these Russian dudes. Good Lord, look at that. That's all names. That's all names. There's more. Oh, I missed a page. More names, you know. More names. Russian women's judo, you know. The results for the women's team were more modest, but women's judo in Russia has been developing only since 1984. Yeah. It is a pleasure to note that the very first victories at the international level belong to women of the famous city on the Neva River. Well, there you go. Fantastic. Yeah. And now, I mean, it goes into like the stuff you find in most judo books. Like where do matches take place, the judo uniform, you know, etiquette. Etiquette! Good Lord, I can't believe I'm reading a book, whatever. You know, it talks about what is the correct way to bow. Because you know in Japan, or in judo, you walk to the mat, you bow, you go on the mat, you bow, you face your guy, you bow, and then you throw him on his, you know, then you throw him. Hajime! in, you know. And then on the way out, after you throw the guy, you bow, 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 then, you know, off you go, you know. Special preparatory exercises. You know, again, you'll find this in most judo books, because you don't want to just step on the mat, start throwing each other around, you know. So you want to have a heart rate of 130 to 150 beats per minute, you know, aerobic and stuff. Drilling things, push-ups, moving around on straight arms, moving around on bent arms, jumping around on arms. Jumping around on arms, oh, in push-up position, with partner holding legs. Oh, okay, yeah. Crawling on all fours, reverse push-ups, reverse push-ups. Push-ups with partners sitting on your back, you know. This is the kind of stuff that, don't tell Jigoro Kano, but if you want to win a Olympic gold medal, you need to be doing this stuff and get as strong as a bull and have judo and then toss people, you know? Because if you don't get properly physically conditioned, you're going to get steamrolled by someone who is, you know, conditioned and also has put in the hours on the mat in judo, you know? Push-outs, one partner sits down with his back to the other. Who is standing first person lifts his arms straight. What is that? Palms the other person. I don't know. Handstand push-ups facing partner with arms held out in front. Alternately flex and extend arms back and forth against one another. Oh, okay, the whole exercises in developing balance. This is stuff you'll find in most books. General developmental gymnastic exercises. Walk around vigorously, bending the head forward, backward, right and left. Make 2 head motions for every step. Walk around, moving the head in a circular motion, 2 motions per section. You know, run while turning 360 degrees to the right and left. You know, jump forward on 2 legs, jump forward on 1 leg, jump forward in a crouching position. You know, all these various drills, you know, or exercises. Look at them. Look at all these things. Games and relays, you know. Stand on 1 leg facing each other, hands behind your back. The objective is to unbalance your partner by shoving with your shoulder, forcing him or her to put both feet down, you know. One partner sits down on all fours. The other sits on the first partner's back, legs out to the sides. The person on the bottom tries to throw the one on top off his back. I play that, you know, with my kids, you know. Ride the wild bull or whatever, you know. Yuppers. So anyway, you'll find this in a lot of judo books. This one's quite good. You know, developing strength, maximum effort method, you know. This method ensures an increase in maximum dynamic strength without a significant increase in muscular mass. It is very important for judoka who must maintain a relatively constant weight within their weight category. That's true. Although in judo you weigh in not wearing your kimono, which is why your kimono can be as heavy as a suit of armor. Unlike jiu-jitsu, where you weigh in wearing your kimono and it has to be, you know, as light as a feather, you know. Whatever. Developing and improving endurance, you know. Go for a run! Run up a hill! Improving the alkylate special endurance mechanism. Improving the lactate special endurance mechanism. Improving the aerobic special endurance component. Speed skills. The most common way to improve reaction speed is the repetition method, which calls for repeated performances of exercises when signaled. In judo they call that uchikomi. This method facilitates improvement of the sensory and motor reactions. Subsequently, with this method, reaction speed stabilizes and further improvement occurs with efficiency, or efficiently. You see that in jiu-jitsu now. You see guys that they're practicing the same guard pass or they're practicing the same move again and again. But they've been doing that in judo forever, you know. Combination exercises. I imagine Vladimir Putin didn't write this part. It was probably these other two guys, well, he just, was doing some other stuff, God knows what, Applying the competitive game method in judo training. The existence of rivalry and emotionality in motor activities. Unpredictability, both in the conditions and actions of the participants. A show of maximum physical exertion and mental focus, striving to win under fixed rules. The use of various motor skills applicable under the specific conditions of a game or competition. Here's various other ways you can do it. Various other ways. The participants lie down opposite each other in pairs, placing the elbows on their right or left arms on the floor and joining hands. Players must fight with one hand, holding the other hand behind the back. The elbow must remain on the floor. The fight starts when the coach gives the signal. Each player tries to beat his opponent by bending the opponent's hand toward the mat. Isn't that arm wrestling? I don't know. Anyway, that's all the objectives, good lord. Important training tips. Yep. Muscle strength. After about 15 to 20 years old, range of motion, flexibility decreases. No kidding. That's why babies can chew their toes. Yep. When stretching exercises cease, flexibility gradually decreases, and in 2 to 3 months returns to its original level. Therefore, you should not take more than 1 to 2 weeks off from training. Where does the study of judo techniques begin? Again, I don't think Vladimir Putin wrote any of this stuff. Breaking down the classification of standing fighting techniques. The order in which you should learn things, I guess. And this is where it starts to get pretty crazy, almost like percentages and stuff. Chart 1 shows how the techniques are distributed in standing position. This is the result of many years of Kodokan practice. 29%, should be ashiwaza, which is like your foot. Teiwaza is the hand, Pretty trippy. There are 71 ground fighting techniques permitted in competition. 17 holds, 29 chokes, 29 choking techniques, 25 arm locks. And here's the percentages. Like this book, as you'll notice as we go through it, there's a lot of this stuff where it seems like there's a lot of almost arithmetic or algebra starting to become involved. You'll see later, it gets pretty crazy. Anyway, throws. Arm throws, leg throws, torso throws. Thrust, shove, hip, shin, heel, the mill. Drops, sweeps, throws, shoulder, back, hip, chest, Here's more percentages. Frequency of standing judo attack actions. Frequency of application of judo technique sets. When I think judo, you know what I think? Pie charts. Lots and lots of pie charts. When talking about a judoka's technical skill, you must think of his training in terms of mastering the entire arsenal of techniques. However, even the most qualified and titled judoka have a limited number of techniques in their competitive arsenal. 2, 3, or less frequently 4. It's like Koga, just threw everybody with Ippon Seoinage, Or Kashiwazaki, who is more of a Newaza guy, What was your favorite technique? Vladimir Putin? Come on! Oh, he doesn't want to tell me. Yep. It is necessary to limit one's fighting arsenal to those technical actions that will be determined in the process, taking into consideration the judoka's individual traits, fighting style, and competitive practice. Basic concepts. So again, this is like in every judo book, you know, the attacker is tori and the defender is uke. You know. Rules of conduct on the match. Rules of conduct! Do not sit with your back to the center of the mat. That's a good idea, because then someone will fall on you. You gotta see what's coming your way. And also, never stand with your back to the ocean. Every time I go to the beach, there's a sign that says, do not stand with your back to the ocean. They should have that sign facing the ocean. So to read the sign, you have to stand with your back to the ocean. And then the sign will say, do not stand with your back to the... whatever. While working on throws, you must be situated so that your partner's fall flows from the center of the mat to the edges. Really? I guess. When falling, do not stick out a straight arm to cushion the fall. Yeah, because if you fall like that, you pop your elbow. Thanks a lot, Vladimir Putin, for your safety tips. Competition techniques. Break falling techniques. Again, this is like in, of course they don't have pictures of this. And what, no pie charts? You know? They should have pictures of how to do this. Sideways break falling, backward break falling, forward break falling. Basically don't fall with things stuck out. Fall like a pancake. Bam, fall flat. You know what I mean? Don't fall on your finger. Don't fall, you know, bits poking out. Forward break falling, that's if you can't roll. If you're going forward, just do a somersault. And if someone's holding on to your legs, like Shogun versus Mark Coleman years ago, then yeah, do a forward break fall. You know, backward break fall, you can also roll. Sideways break falling, that's more of a break fall. And if you want to roll to look cool, okay, great. Boop, 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 boom, boop. Why does my opponent fall? Well, a person falls if he or she loses balance and can't regain it. You know, maybe they're drunk, maybe you tied their feet together and pushed them down, blah, blah, blah. Man, I can't believe there's... whatever. I can't believe it takes that long to explain why your opponent falls down. Whatever. Throwing techniques. Nagewaza. Shoulder throw, seiwa nage. Morote seiwa nage, it's with two hands. You know? And again, they have descriptions. They should have pictures. Oh, here we go. See? This one's Morote seiwa nage, over he goes. Ippon seiwa nage is with one hand where you spin under the guy and over he goes. Variations, two sleeves, kneeling shoulder throw. Fantastic. And this is the part that I thought was kind of interesting in that it shows how to go from throw A to throw B. It doesn't really show you how to do it, it just says you can do it. Tactical set with one arm shoulder throw as the final technique. So here you're doing like ouchi, and I guess the guy steps out and you do a shoulder throw. Here you're doing more of a harai, and maybe the guy messes with that and do a shoulder throw. Here it's a kouchi shoulder throw. Here it's some kind of ashiwaza to shoulder throw. Maybe he steps back. I don't know. They don't show you like how to go from here to here. You know? This one is this one. It's the same one. This is a tayatoshi to shoulder throw. Maybe if the guy steps out. I guess you do this one, he counters it, and you do that one. This is the part of this book that, this is why I bought the book, because you like it. Not because of this guy, but you really have to be kind of imaginative to figure out, okay, how are we getting from there to there? Also, the pictures are pretty good, but whatever, you know. And then here's, you know, this is how to get to the shoulder throw, and here's, if he messes with your shoulder throw, you can do shoulder throw to, I guess that's a harai, kouchi, ouchi. That's kind of the same throw, isn't it? You can drop, you know. Body drop, tayatoshi. The Neil Adams throw. I'm terrible at this throw. Really bad. Yup. And again, how to go from various throws to tayatoshi, and how to go from tayatoshi to various throws. You don't see this in like this kind of stuff. This is the only judo book I have, and I have a lot of judo books, and this is the only one that shows that. And again, doesn't really explain how to, you know, but makes you think, you know. Osotogari, major outer reap, you know? Here he is switching from, I would call that a Haragoshi, but what do I know? Oh no, I guess that's an Osoto. Yeah, after you like, depends, I guess, depends where you started. Yep. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Moving from this one to... How the hell do you go from there to there? That would be a total... Maybe, I don't even know. How would you go from that one to that one? That's mental. Yeah, major outer reaping. They're saying that's Osotogari. The setup technique. Here's Ouchi, major inner. Boom. These are pretty good drawings. I don't think Vladimir Putin did these drawings either. He was too busy doing other shit. And here's how to go from Ouchi to other. I can kind of see how some of these, but like, how would you go from there to there? They really need to have something explaining how to get from, you know, and how to go from various throws to Ouchi, you know. Oh, here we go. Here's their Haragoshi, you know. Look at him. He's not lifting this elbow at all. The guy, I was doing judo recently for a little while. The guy was like, we only practiced Haragoshi for like 6 months. And one of his big deals was that this arm has to be like way up and way out. So he would be giving this guy a talking to, you know. Anyway, here's various ways to get to Haragoshi, I suppose, from other arts, you know, from other throws, I mean, you know. And again, they don't explain it at all. Like, how the hell would you go from that to that? You'd have to do like a serious hip switch. You'd catch the guy off guard, I'd tell you that. You know? Some seriously creative... That's what I like about this book. I mean, obviously I don't like the fact it's written by this guy, but it's interesting in that it makes you really think, how would I get from here to here? And then sometimes it's a interdasting, you know? Uchimata. This is good with left on left because you can move in and the guy, you can throw him with Uchimata, you know. This is a high percentage throw in judo. I was never really good at this one because I'm not terribly flexible, but a person that's quite flexible, if you get your leg between his and you lift it up super high, he's going. Although it's hard with that one, it's very hard to throw the guy without also throwing yourself. Like with that one, you're going to tumble and probably end up on the bottom, which makes it good for judo. For jiu-jitsu, maybe no, because you throw the guy, you do what I call overthrowing. You throw the guy, but then you end up on the bottom, you know? And then the other guy's coach is like, where's my points? Where's the points for the takedown? It's like, there's no points. I threw him, and then I ended up on the bottom. That would be an advantage for me, because I threw him, but then I, you know, landed side control on you and you rolled like a sausage. You didn't throw me, I threw you, but I overthrew, whatever. There's various other things. What's that? Oh, Uchimata, how to get to Uchimata from various throws. I mean, I guess I can see that, how to go from Kouchi to Uchimata. This one, Ashiwaza to whatever. And then from Uchimata to the various other throws. How the hell would you go from, that would be crazy, to go start with Uchimata and then end up in Tomoe Nage. How would he recover from that? He's already upside down. Circle throw, Tomoe Nage. That's one of my favorites. I like Yoko Tomoe Nage though. You know? Just sit down, put your foot in his tummy and over he goes. Sumige Ashi, that's another. I like the sacrifice throws because if you don't get them, you can just play guard, you know? But look, he reaches the belt. I did that. When I did judo years ago, my judo was very, I don't want to say I did Russian judo, but it was, you know, it was influenced by certain books I read. I didn't get this one until probably after I'd finished doing judo. I stopped doing judo in like 2001 and just started again. briefly this year, but outer wraparound, Soto Makikomi. Yep. Boom. This one's good for judo. For jiu-jitsu, maybe no, because the guy's behind you, you know. This one's illegal now in judo, because you can't touch the guy's pants, you know. They wanted to make judo. Whenever, like, people start winning, doing stuff that's not, like, you know, they're like, oh, we gotta change the rules, no touching the pants, you know. Whatever. Look at this one, scoop throw, Sakuinage. You can't do that one anymore. Nope, make that one illegal. You know? Ushiro Goshi. This one's still okay. You're not touching his pants and whatever. Ground fighting techniques, Newaza. Yep. Headlock. Yep. Hashigatame, that's also. These are pretty good pictures. Head and arm choke. Katagatame. Yep. North-south. Side control. Broken upper four-quarter hold. Nice. North-south. Ura Shiho Gatame. See? And this one, his arms are over yours, and in this one, your arms are over his, you know? This one's better for, like, setting up arm locks and stuff. You know, when doing the north-south choke that Jeff Munson does, you know? This one's better for, like, holding the guy, but there's not, you know, there's not a lot you can do from there, you know? Uh-oh, you're gonna get caught in the buggy choke. He doesn't know what the buggy choke is. You know, whatever. This one's good if you're going for the arm. Just pull the guy up in his side, then spin and attack that arm. You know, side locking. See, this is dangerous, putting your arm in like that, because the guy will just put his leg over your head and then you get caught in a triangle. You know? Or, I mean, like I said, the buggy choke. You know? Vertical holds with various grips. So, in judo, you don't need to choke the guy. You can just hold him on his back, you know? But in jiu-jitsu, you can, you know? Sambo, I have no idea. I think in Sambo, you just get points. You can't win with a hold down, but you get points for a hold down. So, arm lock. This one. Pop his elbow over your... I don't know if I've ever tapped anybody with that. I mean, you'd have to be, like, seriously stronger than the guy to... You know, if you're fighting a guy of equal or greater strength, that's not going to fly. That's not going to work. This one I just showed yesterday, kind of, from Neon Belly. Sort of, you know? Yeah. This one I don't generally do. From here, I usually put my shin on the back of the guy's head and then make him roll. This way, if you're turning that way, he generally pulls his arm out. You know? Generally, when I get a guy in this position, I'll put my shin on the back of his head and then I'll look at his feet and force him to tumble this way. You know? This one, when I'm trying to make him flip onto his back, he'll put his hands together and, like, pull the arm out and then you got problems, you know? But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's a really, really bad way of doing arm lock from mount. Jesus. But what, you know, arm crush. Yeah. Yep, look at that. That's a good guard, isn't it? Hey, how about do it, whatever. You gotta work on your closed guard, Vladimir Putin. You know? This is okay. I mean, you want your feet kind of like pointing that way and down to make the guy fall into his back. If you do this, the guy's just gonna do what I call start the lawnmower and pull his arm straight out. Choke techniques. All right. Wow, that's terrible. That's probably the worst choke. I mean, it's a fine picture, but good Lord. Look at that. What are you, fixing his tie? These hands should be like way, like you want your hands almost touching behind his, you know? Look at that. You want that. You want his head in there, in that diamond. Look at that. Where's the diamond? Nowhere. 2 thumbs in. This one's okay when the guy's below you because sometimes it's hard to get your hands to touch when there's a floor there. But again, you don't want to push your elbows out. You want to put your, from here he wants to put his belly button on this guy's nose. We shouldn't even be able to see this. And you want it also deeper too. You want your knuckles like on the ground. This is not great. I mean, this, what are you doing with your arms? Are you already unconscious? The guy would just use his hand here to post against that. You know? That is not the correct way to do that. Choke technique, kata hajime. I think they want that to be the sliding lapel choke, but that's not going to work. You got to have that hand on that form, whatever. Whatever. His palm is, you gotta turn your palm should be on top of your arm there. So dang gorilla. This is the clock choke. You want to have your head on the ground over here. You want to be like a rainbow of death over the guy. The whirligig. You grab his kimono and you snap him down, and then you put your hand in kind of that. That's kind of good if you find yourself in some kind of altercation at the pub or whatever. You don't want to pull guard on the guy or do a flying arm lock. That one's pretty good. Look at this one. The whirligig. This kind of reminds me of that one throw that Cyborg does. Not the, you know, I was gonna say lady Cyborg, but she's, you know, I guess she's a lady now. There was a few years where she kind of was, you know, her gender was hard to determine. Anyway, I mean the Cyborg that fights in Jiu-Jitsu, Abreu or whatever, he does a thing like this. He does a throw where he spins, but he's not doing that. Forearm counter choke. Yep. That would probably work on your average citizen, but probably not any. Self-defense techniques. He holds your wrist, so you kick him in the testicles, and then you break his arm. Nice. Breaking a frontal two-hand grip. Yes, you're kicking him in the stomach, but you know, the nuts are right there. Defending a direct punch. What kind of punch is that? Step to this, whatever. Yeah, he punches at you and you just spin in and throw him. Defending from an uppercut to the chin. How would, what? You see the uppercut coming, so you push it away and then arm lock it. I'm not so sure that would be defending from a side head strike. I don't know if any of these are getting my stamp of approval. And it's not just because it's being written by this guy, but I'm not sure this would be, you know, effective. Maybe this one, he's trying to chop you, so you step out and whatever. He's trying to kick you, so you kick him. Take that! I hope you've had all the children you intend to have. You know? Oh Jesus! The guy's got a knife. I guess if you guys got a knife, you got to do something. Why not this? But I've seen worse. With this one though, if a club's coming down, step out of the way. It's coming down. Don't be this guy. This is called getting hit in the head. You know, if there's something coming down, you get out of the way. Self-defense developments by Mikonosuke Kawaishi. I guess one specific guy developed. Oh, look! More incredibly method of self-defense. I don't have that book. Maybe I'll try and get it. Levels of pain. First degree pain. The pain is not strong, but can throw your opponent into confusion and distract his attention. Sharp pain. Throws your opponent into confusion for greater amounts of time. 3. The pain stuns your opponent and causes numbness in the tissue, despite the fact that your opponent is, as a rule, still conscious. 4. Temporary paralysis or loss of consciousness. 5. Serious injury, loss of consciousness, perhaps death. Was there a 6? There's no 6! 6 should be dead. Whatever. I guess if you're dead, you're not in pain, though. Pain zones. This is the kind of stuff where, like, it seems to me kind of like common sense. Like, you know, a groin area is 13. Groin should be 1. Maybe these aren't ranked by how much it hurts. Oh wait, moderate, hard. What's groin zone rank? Groin area is a 5. Is anything else got a 5? Larynx, yeah, okay. Temple, eyes, okay, yeah. 7th neck vertebrae. Remember, kids, when you're hitting somebody, hit them in the 7th neck vertebrae, not just the 6th. Is the 6th even on here? No, 6th is not there. Coccyx, kidney. The coccyx, the tailbone. Whatever. The School of Combat Sambo. That's my terrible Russian accent. I've been resisting through this whole book, trying to get people to not do a Russian accent, or I'm trying not to, but whatever. See, this is what I'm talking about. You think Khabib Nurmagomedov is ever going to do that? No. No, maybe this. Probably not that. You know? You can never underestimate the value of grabbing a dude by the... And look, this guy's kind of smiling a little bit. You know? Kick him in the back of the knee. Yeah, fine. Whatever. Oh, Soto. This is one that that other book I had, Self-Defense by Judo, they were showing this, but the guy had like a sausage or a knife or something. You know? This is one I learned in Hapkido years ago. I think they called it the nose turn because they had the hand on the nose rather than... But I mean, you know, don't mess around. There's another one, you know? This is the kind of stuff you want to do if you're in a pub fight, so to speak. You know what I mean? There's no rules. You don't want to kill the guy. You just want to like show him who he's messing with. You know, he's trying to impress his girlfriend, and you know, you show him, hey, you better step back, fellow, and then he pulls a knife on you. This whole cross arms blocking thing, you know, that just seems like you want to get stabbed in the face there. I mean, kick him in the balls, fine. You know, kind of, you know. This again, he's gonna retract his arm, and you're gonna get cut bad. Knee him in the balls. This, I don't know about that. Like, whoever did this book and did this illustration, I'm not so sure they've ever been attacked with a knife. I haven't, you know, but at least we have the benefit now. We can go on YouTube and you type in knife attacks and you can see what knife attacks really look like. And I'm not so sure this is gonna, like, you know, save your life, you know? You know? That's why the Dog Brothers, their knife attack book is, or knife attack video is called Die Less Often. You know? Like this, he's gonna pull his hand and his knife away, you know? I don't know if you're gonna get a chance to do that, you know? Theoretical training. Objective evaluation of skill level in judo, that's why they have belts. Oh, look at this, and now they're starting to use different symbols for different throws. Like, this is the kind of stuff that, in my opinion, you kind of don't need to do. How about do some judo? How about sweat and put on a belt and try and throw one another? Look at this. Hey, let's do some algebra. This is going to help me, you know? Look at that. How many hours is it going to take you to figure out what the hell they're talking about here? And who's going to win in a fight? A guy that has spent several hours trying to figure this shit out? Or some guy that has spent those hours training and sweating? And, you know, I was going to say bleeding, but hopefully not bleeding. You know, maybe if they're trying that knife attack stuff. Look at that! What in the name of God are they trying to accomplish here? Just silly. Health! I find it very ironic this guy's writing a book about health. You know? Switching in your weight category or switching to another one. Yep. Rules for a rational judo diet. Fruit. Vodka. Turnips. Maybe just vodka and turnips if you're Russia. Carbohydrates. Vitamins. I haven't taken any vitamins in years because I'm of the opinion that the food you eat should, you know, have the vitamins. If you only need vitamins if there's been like a, you know, you're otherwise going to suffer from malnourishment. You know what I mean? Whatever. Vitamin B. Vitamin, yeah, other vitamins. I guess it can't hurt, you know? Certainly I'm no magnesium. Don't listen to me about diet, I'll tell you that, but, you know, injuries and their prevention. The most important part of injuries and their prevention is train with people you can trust. Don't train with crazy people, you know? And also, it might, again, not to be like, you know, but I am reading a book by Vladimir Putin, and there's a part called Injuries and Their Prevention. Does that strike anybody else as ironic? Or is that just a me thing? No? I'm here by myself, so. And here's how long it takes you to, if you injure your shins, you know, You can begin training in 80 to 90 days. Well, forearms, 40 to 50. First aid. Once again, I'm reading a book about Vladimir Putin, and there's a part on first aid. Strange. I don't know. Maybe I'm, you know, maybe I'm unfairly judging him because he's, you know, responsible for the deaths of millions, or thousands, if not, maybe hundreds of thousands, I don't know. It's like reading this is like I said, you know, maybe Hitler will write a book on karate, you know? Oh, I guess he'd write something about, what's a German martial art? I don't think there is one. You know? Maybe it'd be a recipe book on how to, like, you know, make sausages, I don't know. Instead of a conclusion. If you have never walked out onto the mat, there is much you are missing out on. It's not too late. Put on a judo gi, tie your belt around your waist, and you're on your way. The incredible, mysterious, and open world of judo awaits you. Unless your country is being attacked by a maniac. Glossary of judo techniques. Fantastic. All the various... Doesn't explain their crazy algebra, does it? Or their weird symbols or their pie charts. So, Judo, History, Theory, and Practice. I looked this one up online. I'm pretty sure this book is worth like a couple $100. You know? It's not autographed, but I don't think I would want to get it autographed, actually. Alrighty, that's that.